It's cookbook review day. Oh, one of my favorites. Today, what we're reviewing is this one, The Mindful Glow by Abbey Sharp. Woo! Getting nice and close there for you. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I encourage you to click the subscribe button below and the little notification bell so that you never miss a cookbook review. And if you're back to my channel after many times, welcome back. As you'll notice, I've got a little bit of a different setup here. We're all doing a lot of change with all the COVID stuff going on. And so I've rearranged my kitchen and that a little bit so that my video call clients, it's a little better setup for that. And that affects our setup here today. But welcome into my kitchen anyways. Grab a cup of coffee. We're diving into this cookbook. Hi. Okay. Well, you know what? We're all doing a little more cooking at home right now. And, I'm not going to get into COVID type of stuff at all. That's, I'm hoping that maybe you're here because you want a breather from that. But it's still kind of infused into every aspect of life right now, to tell the truth. And so this cookbook, I have given an extra in-depth review of it because, hey, usually I aim to cook about a dozen recipes. That's always my target. But hey, I've had more time at home. I've had more time to cook. So I've gotten even more recipes under review here. But you know what? If I was to go in depth with every single recipe that I reviewed, which I normally do, we'd be here forever. And I know many of us have some extra time on our hands as we're sitting at home, but I don't expect you to stay for days as I go through every single recipe. But what I'm going to do is pull out and really get into some of the highlight recipes from this cookbook. Okay, so Mindful Glow Cookbook by Abbey Sharp. She's a fellow Canadian dietitian from back east, and you probably know her because she has a very popular YouTube channel. She's very big blogger and is all through traditional media, magazines, radio stations, TV stations, as well as all of the social media. And I know her through all of those medias as well, but I've never met her in person. So this is just a completely new review for you of this cookbook. There's no friendship bias or anything going on there. And March is Nutrition Month, and so of course I was going to choose a fellow Canadian dietitian's cookbook to review this month. Okay, so, and this is Abby's first cookbook, which I was actually really surprised about because I see her recipes and I see her throughout so much social media and traditional media and blogging that I thought, oh, she must have multiple cookbooks, but I was really surprised this is her first one. Okay, so let's dive into this cookbook specifically. Abby has a knack for media, right? And cookbooks are another medium. And so she knows what she's doing. It's nice hard cover, the pages feel beautiful, and there are amazing photos for every single recipe. I'm just pulling up random pages here. Oh yeah, things look good. Beautiful photos for every recipe. So many of us, we do love looking through a recipe book and browsing. And I do find that particularly newer cooks and more novice cooks, a photo can really be helpful in determining if you're going to like a recipe or if you should choose a recipe. So this is definitely one of those beautiful cookbooks. And how did she lay it out? What are the chapter layout, the table of contents? It's a little bit unique. It's a little bit different. So she has Rise and Shine, starting with breakfast, and then Power Meals. So these are her entrees, salads, sidekicks, and soups. The 3 p.m. fix. So these are her snacks. Happy hour. So yeah, there's cocktails and nibbles if you're doing some entertaining, although we're not necessarily doing that right now, but maybe you're entertaining yourself, or maybe you're doing a virtual one, I don't know. And then something sweet, so her desserts. that's the layout, and let's get into some of these recipes. As you can see, I have all of my tags. I gave a ton of recipes a go, and yeah, as I said, I'm just going to breeze over some because I'm not going to have enough time to get into everything, but I will highlight some particular key recipes that illustrate kind of themes and important points about this cookbook, or recipes you just need to know about. Okay, so in the breakfast, I tried her avocado protein smash with balsamic roasted tomatoes. Totally in my wheelhouse, type of thing I often do as often a snack. I never thought of it as a breakfast, but I loved that. She has a tropical coconut smoothie bowl. If you're into smoothie bowls, it's a good one. My sweetheart had never had a smoothie bowl before. He's not really the type to be going into the juice bars, and he loved it. He loved the concept. He loved this. PB&J Protein Pancakes. Okay. This is a recipe that I'm going to chat about in depth because it typifies a few different things that I really noticed in this cookbook. First of all, this recipe actually involves 3 different recipes. There's 3 components. There's the grape chia jam, the peanut butter mousse, which are the 2 toppings for the actual pancakes. And I didn't do the grape chia jam. I mean, Coronation grapes, not exactly in the grocery stores right now, and I'm not spending any extra time hunting down ingredients right now. But I do love chia jam. I've done them with berries in the past, and so I trust that that would be delicious. But what attracted me to this recipe in the first place is that it really kind of like blew my mind. Because when I'm looking for a recipe, I either go for things that are just, when I read the recipe, I'm like, oh yeah, that's my flavor profile. I love those types of ingredients. I'm making what I know I already like. And then I see recipes where I read it and I'm like, what? Huh? I mean, I cook a lot, and sometimes a recipe, I'm just like, I don't understand this recipe. I read it and I can't picture in my head what's going to happen and what it's going to taste like, and that I'm a curious person, and so that is going to be a recipe that I make, and that is exactly what happened here with these protein pancakes. And what I learned from cooking through this cookbook is that Abbey has a particular mastery in using dairy, and this one she uses cottage cheese. And again, cottage cheese is something that I have to admit, not really something I buy very often. And so when I saw her use it in this recipe and some other ones, it was heavily represented through this cookbook. And I was like, oh, okay, let me check this out. Another ingredient that Abbey used in this cookbook is liquid egg whites. They're in the little carton in with the eggs in the grocery store. And I always just go for the regular eggs. I am not, again, somebody who usually grabs the liquid egg whites. And so I was really curious to see how she used them. And she used them in this recipe as well as other recipes in the cookbook. And I thought, I'm just curious. That was I was like, what? Okay, I'm not super familiar with using these. Piqued my curiosity. But also, I really liked that concept during this COVID time, because some of the grocery stores are having kind of bare shelves right now. Our kind of go-to foods might not be there, so we need to be a little extra flexible in grabbing other things. And the liquid egg whites, they both have a long time that they can last in the fridge for. And you can freeze the unopened carton as well. So I thought that was a great thing to be practicing and trying different ways to use the liquid egg whites as an ingredient so that my grocery store did have eggs, so I bought the eggs, but I also bought the liquid egg whites as well so that I could have, a longer time between grocery shops. So I thought this was a unique concept. And so I whipped up the peanut butter mousse. It was delicious. And I whipped up the protein pancakes, and I had one slight little mishap, I guess. She does recommend a nonstick pan. I don't own a nonstick frying pan. I have my usual stainless steel frying pan, and I always make pancakes in that one. That's my go-to. I mean, I have a buckwheat pancake in my own cookbook, and I often try a pancake recipe from other cookbooks. You'll have heard me talk about that in the past. And so I went ahead and used my usual pan, put the butter in the pan, put the batter in, and uh-oh. That batter stuck to that pan and it was not moving. It was sealed tight, like super glue. Oh dear. So yeah, do not make these pancakes if you don't have like a Teflon nonstick fry pan. But hey, we're only grocery shopping once a week at most right now. I was not going to waste all of those ingredients in that batter. So I thought quickly on my feet. And what I did is I turned on the oven. I took a metal baking dish, an 8x8 baking dish, and I put a big dollop of coconut oil in there. I switched up to coconut oil because, well, I was out of butter. And so I put a good juicy amount in there, and then I poured the batter in and I baked it. And I just kind of kept a close eye, and when it looked done, I pulled it out, and that was super successful. Lifted out of the pan like a dream, and it's delicious. I'm actually still eating some of the leftovers of it. It's kind of like the Dutch baby kind of concept, if you've ever made those kind of Dutch pancake, Dutch baby, where you put it in the hot pan in the oven and you make one big pancake instead of individual ones. So this, with a little bit of thinking quickly on my toes, saved the recipe, and I'm so glad I did because they're delicious and didn't waste any ingredients. So definitely a great recipe if you have that Teflon pan. Moving along. Oh, she has a delicious Czech Shuka in here. I love a Czech Shuka. I included one in my cookbook. This one I gave it a try. Delicious. And it includes chickpeas, and I'm always a fan of recipes that include chickpeas. Oh, I almost forgot to show you the little quick photo there. And then she had what she calls whipped proats, which is oatmeal made with those liquid egg whites. All different topping ideas. Quite interesting recipe. Gave those a try. And then we're moving into the entrees. I gave a number of entrees a try. Her autumn butternut squash mac and cheese with the sage panko topping. Now I skipped the sage panko topping. That's my personal taste. I don't like a breadcrumb topping on my mac and cheese. Those texture combination is not for me. But this is a mac and cheese that has the hidden vegetables in it. There's both cauliflower and butternut squash. I used frozen of both, and it turned out deliciously. It had all the cheesy goodness that you want in a mac and cheese, and the vegetables added a tiny bit of sweetness. So if you were looking to have a picky kiddo and you're going to deny that there's any vegetables in here, this is not the recipe for you. But if you're looking for a delicious mac and cheese that has those soft puree vegetables included in there, good one, good recipe. I tried her chicken, sweet potato, and cauliflower curry. It's a solid curry. My sweetheart really enjoyed that one. Ginger turmeric shrimp. This is on my list for things I'm going to be trying. I have some frozen shrimp frozen prawns, frozen shrimp in the freezer. So those are going to be happening later this week. Brown butter and orange cauli couscous salad with beets and goat cheese. I substituted quinoa for the couscous. Delicious, solid. I always love beets and goat cheese as a combination, so super happy about that one. Here's one. Wild rice and bok choy salad with creamy cashew dressing. Okay, so this, again, is one of those recipes that I was like, what? How do all those ingredients work together? I couldn't get a picture in my mind, and I was really thinking about it. I've eaten bok choy many, countless times, but always cooked. It never occurred to me to eat bok choy raw. So I thought, oh, I'm gonna have to try this. And this recipe is delicious. It's one of those synergistic ones where the combination of everything together is greater than the sum of its parts. This I loved, and I will be making this again soon. Absolutely, absolutely delicious. So kudos to Abby for this recipe. Oh my goodness. Moving along, miso, cucumber, avocado, and toasted sesame salad. This is exactly the flavor profile that I love, and it did not disappoint. Charred broccoli, quinoa, and hazelnut crunch salad. Again, delicious. I love a full meal salad bowl, and this held up for that. Some people call them nourish bowls or a Buddha bowl. Great one. And now we're getting into snacks. Here's what I think. Abby is particularly strong with her snack game. Really give it to her for the snacks. So many delicious snacks in here that just, blew my mind. So if you're looking for, to change up your snacks, you've been bored with the snacks, you're always doing the same things, but you want some healthy snack ideas, great cookbook for you. So I tried the Edamame Mango Brown Rice Energy Balls. If you love an energy ball, but they're always kind of the same, give these ones a try. Particularly if you like the flavors in sushi, this was delicious. And I made it without the hot sauce and without the nori. I just wasn't sure that I wanted hot sauce in my energy ball. And I was getting a little lazy, to be perfectly frank, and so I didn't do the nori step. I'm going to definitely make these again, and I am not going to forget or get too lazy for those two ingredients. As they are, the way I made them, they're delicious, but I can tell that they're going to go just like next level when I include the other two. So really enjoying those. And then after these ones are finished, that I have some leftovers still of, pumpkin pecan pie energy bites. Totally going to make those ones next. I scored some canned pumpkin from the grocery store, so I'll be using them up in that. Next are a cookie, Chewy Crackle Almond Apple Cookies. And again, if you've been following me for a while, you know I'm not a strong baker. I'm a good cook, not a strong baker. Those are two separate skill sets. And so I always try at least a couple of baking recipes, or at least one in each cookbook review, because hey, I want you to know if you're not a very strong baker, whether you can make these things too. And these cookies were delicious. And I didn't even have the apple that they called for. So I used dried apricots and dates, used those instead, kind of a 50-50 mix. I was going to say mash up and mix together. Delicious. The cookies still totally worked, so good to know that they're a recipe that is flexible, particularly during this time when, when we were going to the grocery store less. It's not the time to be going to multiple grocery stores to get exact ingredients, and a lot of ingredients aren't on the shelves right now. Next one, 2-ingredient protein ice cream. This I had to try. Again, using the cottage cheese. I made mine with some frozen cherries. Delicious. Whoa. Kind of blowing my mind, kind of a concept. Amazing. And I also tried the carrot cake protein parfait. Again, blew my mind, delicious, creamy, and all of the flavors of a carrot cake without the actual cake. This is amazing. Super a great healthy choice for a snack, totally new concept, and yummy, 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 yummy. And then also the snack, savory beet and avocado yogurt bowl. Refreshing, cooling, delicious. Again, everything I'm looking for in a snack. And, so if you like tzatziki, or how different Indian cuisines combine yogurt and cucumber, like a raita type of thing. If you like those kind of flavor profiles, this is going to be a delicious snack for you. And beets, I love beets. I couldn't believe that I'd never thought of putting beets in yogurt, but So delicious. Super strong snack game, Abby. Thank you for this. I also made her turmeric chickpea apricot trail mix. Again, you know me, any recipe that is using creative ways to include beans and lentils, in this case the chickpeas, gets my vote. And then I also made, moving into her kind of cocktail hour recipes. Now, I don't drink alcohol, so I didn't try any of the cocktails themselves, but I did make the pickled honeydew and radish toast with whipped feta yogurt. Although I need to step back because I did not do the radish part. Again, with the way the grocery stores are right now, looking for a watermelon radish, not happening. But pickling the honeydew melon, that piqued my curiosity. And I'm so glad I tried it because it was delicious. There it is all made up. Honeydew melon, not my fave. Not my fave, but you know, it's always in the grocery store. And so I thought, okay, let's give this a try. It piqued my curiosity. Pickling honeydew melon. Okay. Amazing. Delicious. In fact, I made the pickled honeydew melon, I made the whipped feta yogurt, but I had more melon than you would need for the yogurt, so I just sat and ate the melon, and it was delicious, and I never thought that I would be that enthusiastic about honeydew melon, so thank you, Abby, for this recipe as well. So that's the end of the recipes that I tried, and it kind of amazed me when I was going back through and realized I didn't try any of her actual desserts, but a lot of the snacks that I chose seemed like they could have been a dessert, like the ice cream, the protein ice cream, the carrot cake, parfait, and the cookies all seemed like they felt like a dessert, and sometimes I had them as a dessert instead of as a snack, so I felt like I had dessert even though I didn't officially try any of her dessert recipes. So I'll be going back in and trying some of her dessert recipes as well as some recipes that are going to be delicious at other times of the year. So those are all the recipes that I gave a try. And so in summary, should you buy this cookbook? Bottom line, I should say, not summary. Bottom line, should you buy this cookbook? I'm going to say it depends. If you are primarily plant-based or vegan, I would say this is not the cookbook for you. There just aren't enough 100% vegan recipes in here for it to be worth your while. The couple that I did try that were vegan were good. There was no problems with them or anything, but there's just, you know, for all of the cookbook recipes that you're buying here, there's not that many for you. So bang for buck, not really worth it. If you are omnivorous or you're a vegetarian and you include dairy and eggs, absolutely strong 2 thumbs up recommendation from me, particularly if you are looking for some interesting, healthy new snack ideas. This is a fantastic cookbook for those. Thank you, Abby, for creating it. And so, yes, definitely recommended for our vegetarian and omnivorous community members. Okay, so before I wrap up, I'll let you know that I've included, if that sounds like, yep, I'm vegetarian, I'm omnivorous, I'm ready to buy that cookbook, I'll encourage you to pop on down to the description box below because I've included a link there through to Amazon for you to purchase it. And that is my Amazon affiliate link. So if you use that link to purchase the book, you pay just the same price as you would typically or normally with Amazon, but I get paid a little bit for this recommendation. So, you know, during this COVID time when we need to be supporting our small businesses, I would appreciate that support with using that link if you're going to go through Amazon. Or else go to one of your local one of your local bookstores. They might be doing some orders and delivery, and so support your local business in that way, a small business that way. If you like today's video, let me know. Click the thumbs up button. And drum roll, what is our next cookbook going to be for next month? What am I about to start diving in to be cooking through the recipes for you? It's this one. The Low Cholesterol Cookbook for 2, hot off the press. I have it already because I pre-ordered it. It's the cookbook number, is this 2 or 3, Andy? Anyways, it's a another cookbook from Andy DeSantis, dietitian Andy. They're also in the Toronto area, and I enjoyed his last cookbook that I reviewed here. I'll include a link to that one below, and so I'm super excited. As you can see, highlighted just a couple of recipes that I want to be giving a try, and I've already done my grocery shop through our COVID grocery stores and gotten a lot of ingredients that I could still find, so really excited to be dipping into that one. So stay tuned, that cookbook review will be coming up next month. Hang in there this week. Hang in there. Usually I say have a great week. I don't know if we're going to have great weeks this week, but I'll say hang in there this week. And you know what? My new phrase is healthy habits over fear. So healthy habits over fear, and I'll see you back here next Thursday morning.